Today, we're talking about 5 reasons why you aren't getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent. And the first reason is you are not being selfish enough with your own efforts, aka, you're not putting enough effort into yourself. And a lot of neurodivergents might not like what I'm about to say, but I wholeheartedly believe when you use strategic masking, aka, you focus on masking your looks instead of masking your personality, suddenly it will be much easier to step into your feminine energy. You have an avatar. You are your avatar, and you can dress it up in a way that suits the life that you really want to live. If you want to get princess treatment, if you want to be taken care of financially, if you want to live a life where you don't have to care or be stressed out, have to wake up every morning and feel dread and be burned out, you have to turn yourself into the person who deserves the best treatment in the world. And if you're someone who wakes up in the morning and wear the same pajamas every day, all day, maybe it's the same pair of sweatpants you've worn for a whole week. Maybe you don't do your hair. Maybe you don't wear any makeup. That needs to change. And I'm not saying you have to go out and look like RuPaul's Drag Race. You just need to put more effort into making yourself the feminine version of you. Society works with vision. So when you step into society, it is important that when they see you, they visualize the treatment that you deserve. And if you're constantly wearing baggy jeans, if you're constantly having hair that isn't really taken care of, then society is not going to put you in the category of someone who deserves princess treatment. They're going to be really taken aback when suddenly you expect princess treatment because you do not look like a princess. So it is important that you start putting that effort back into yourself. You can't be focusing all of your energy on what everyone thinks about you. You changing to become more feminine, to use strategic masking to get better treatment has nothing to do with anyone else. It has something to do with what you want for yourself and choosing a better life for yourself. So you need to stop people pleasing other people. You need to stop thinking about whether people think you're good enough, smart enough, happy enough, whether they think you are nice. And when you strategically mask your looks as a neurodivergent, you get a free ticket to be more assertive. And a lot of neurodivergents are actually more assertive by nature. So when you look really hot, when you look really feminine, that is a ticket for you to be more assertive because your looks say you're very feminine, you're well taken care of. And then people actually expect you to be more assertive, to set stronger boundaries, and not just let anyone into your life because they can look at you and they can see that you facilitate peace, prosperity, and femininity for yourself. And they know that you're not just going to let anyone beside those gates. You need to put more effort into yourself. The second reason why you're not getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent is because you're too masculine. When you start changing your avatar, dressing more feminine, as I said in the last step, by putting more effort into yourself, you're actually naturally going to start changing the way you carry yourself, the way you behave to match that of the avatar you've created. When you dress more feminine, you're going to carry yourself more softly, more elegant, because it just fits naturally. That's why it's so good to just mask your looks, because the way you want to be treated is going to come naturally because you're naturally going to gravitate towards making yourself more feminine in the way you carry yourself. A lot of neurodivergents are very stuck up in the way that they really want nice treatment. And they haven't been given this nice treatment by society. They think, well, I'm owed this nice treatment. I deserve this nice treatment. Society should give me this nice treatment. They're actually very desperate. They're chasing this nice treatment. They're constantly having a finger up into the air saying, I deserve better treatment. I deserve to be taken care of. And society is never, ever going to make you be taken care of if you're masculine. And you're masculine because you are racing yourself up to be big and puffy and saying, I deserve better treatment, instead of just embodying the fact that you deserve it. If you're running around and you're saying, I deserve better treatment, I should be getting better treatment, I deserve princess treatment, no one's going to ever give you princess treatment because they're going to see that you've never been given it. So you're very insecure in the fact that you don't think you actually deserve it. You think you need to run around and say it to everyone and their mom in order for you to get a snippet of it. They can see that you're not embodying it. They can see that you're very masculine. And a lot of neurodivergents have been put in this masculine position because they've had to fend for themselves. But this is something you need to work on. You need to work on your masculinity and break it down. Because if you want feminine energy treatment, princess treatment, you need to be feminine. And feminine is what? Putting energy back into yourself, expecting good treatment without making it said, being calm, being calculated, facilitating beauty around you. Some of the things you can do in order to take away your masculinity is to spend more time alone and then focus on taking care of yourself through spa treatments at home, maybe doing your hair more, dialing up the self-care. The third reason why you're not getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent is because you're addicted to your old self. A lot of neurodivergents are actually addicted to the comfortability of uncomfortability. And what does that mean? A lot of neurodivergents have gone through a lot of trauma, very uncomfortable situations. They're spending time around bad people, narcissistic people, people that take advantage of your people-pleasing tendencies. And this is something you actually get comfortable with, even though it's uncomfortable situations. Because the more you repeat a pattern and the more you people please or the more you stay around narcissistic people, the more your brain is going to recognize the outcome of those situations. So your body is not going to want to break up with that pattern because it thinks every time you're trying to break that pattern, it's unnatural, it's uncomfortable, and it's going to make you be put in a situation where you can't predict it, even though you're probably going to be entering into a much better situation. This is why it is so quintessential for neurodivergents to heal first and foremost their victim complex when they're trying to get feminine energy princess treatment. And this means that you need to sit back, relax, and take responsibility for your life and the way that things are going to turn out into your life. Because if you do not control your life, if you're not willing to take responsibility and control over your life, life is going to control you. If you're not willing to take control over your own emotions, your emotions are going to control you and they're going to send you right back into the culprit of all of those negative emotions and the pain you've been feeling again until you learn your lesson and you take responsibility again. Essentially, you are addicted to your old self. And a lot of neurodivergents will tell you that they're not willing to compromise. They want to be 100% their authentic self. And I'm not telling you you are not going to be your authentic self, but you need to get rid of your authentic self in order to be able to step into your authentic higher self. You will never have space to build your dream mansion if there's a raggedy shed on the same property. You have to tear that shed down, and it will be uncomfortable. It will feel hard, and it will be something that will give you a slight sense of burnout. If anything, maybe more than you expect. Becoming a better version of yourself takes effort. And when you've been repeating the same painful and negative patterns of your old self again and again and again, you will want to do that. That's your next step naturally. That's what your body wants you to do. You're going to have to make the decision of not doing that. It's going to feel uncomfortable, but in order for you to get to where you need to go, to get that princess treatment, to get that feminine energy, soft life, you need to let it happen. It is essential. What you could do is you could sit back and you could tell yourself, I am willing to take responsibility over my own life, and I'm willing to create the life that I deserve. Those are affirmations that actually set you on a path to making your life. And they also tell the universe that you're ready to let go of your old self to step into your new self. The fourth reason why you're not getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent is because you're too much of a perfectionist. You are putting way too much pressure on yourself to be able to achieve things, and people around you will never ever want to give you princess treatment if you're someone who can never even satisfy yourself. If you don't even feel like the efforts you're making towards yourself are good enough, then how is anyone ever going to be able to step into your life and prove to you that you deserve more? Because you can't even prove to yourself that you deserve more. You're stuck thinking that if you don't go to the gym and do 30 types of workout moves and gets a bubble butt within a week, then you're not good enough. If you don't get an A on your paper, then you're not good enough. That's something you're telling yourself, and you're setting the bar of what is good enough for you so high that you can't even accept any love. You can't even accept any princess treatment because you can't even give it to yourself. You won't even tell yourself that you're good enough in your daily life. It is so important that you kill that perfectionism part within yourself and start praising yourself for the efforts that you make. Did you go for a walk today? Great. Celebrate. Did you go get a new lip gloss today? Celebrate that. Did you put on that new lip gloss today? Celebrate that. Did you find a quarter on the ground? Celebrate that. Did you make a full meal for yourself? Celebrate that. When you start praising yourself, when you start praising that inner child, you're also going to be able to relax more because you're not going to need validation from everyone and their mom. Your perfectionism is directly tied to your people pleaser tendencies. And if you're constantly making yourself feel bad about not doing good enough, you're going to want to prove to everyone else that you can do good enough. You're going to want to boss people around. You're going to want to take control of the whole project to show that you can handle it all because you don't want things to be different or weird from what you're used to. You need to let people step into your life and do more for you. And in order for you to do that, you need to let go of the perfectionism, because feminine energy and the soft life means that you are comfortable with saying, I can't do everything for myself. I'm good enough even if I can't do everything for myself. And when you do that, you actually let other people come into your life that can help you out. You actually motivate people to help you out. When you ask positive questions about, ooh, maybe I don't know this. Could you help me out with that? I'm not sure about that. Could you help me out with that? And you're making people feel really good around you. You're making people feel that they have power around you because you're not afraid to admit that you're soft. You're not afraid to admit that you're a feminine woman. You're not afraid to admit that you need help. You see yourself as good enough, even if you need help. And the last reason why you're not getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent is because you're seeking materials over comfort. On the internet, we have this whole trend of girls that are talking about getting princess treatment and how if he's not showing up with 100 red roses on your doorstep, if he's not buying you a Birkin bag, and if he's not taking you on a trip to Bali, then he's not worth it. He's not a provider. He's not good enough. Everything is super materialistic, and it's all about how much someone can buy you. And that is absolutely not realistic when you're a neurodivergent girly who's grown up putting yourself in the corner and telling yourself that you're not good enough. You need someone who first and foremost can facilitate your mental well-being and you becoming a better version of yourself mentally. And I'm not saying that this man shouldn't have means to be able to provide for you. He should be able to provide your basal needs. There's a big difference between a guy who can provide your basal needs, food, rent, gas in your car, help you out with your education, and then a guy who's willing to buy you 100 red roses, a Range Rover, a Birkin bag, and fly you out. Yeah, it definitely sounds very nice to get that, but if he can't provide all of your basal needs first and foremost, then he's not good enough for you. A masculine man who wants a feminine woman will want to provide for you in the long haul and make you feel comfortable in the long haul. And a lot of feminine energy girlies out there on the internet, they are always focusing on how a man should give them all of these materialistic things. And that is simply not necessarily providing you with the comfort with the relaxation, and with the time you need for yourself, it's gonna make you more stressed because you are not at that level yet. I'm not saying you can't get to that level, but you have to be extremely mentally strong as a woman in order for you to be able to get the Birkin bag, the roses every single day, and the Range Rover. It is a step by step process. Maybe you'll meet a man who will be able to give you that eventually, but that man needs to be devoted to you. He needs to be able to facilitate the soft life for you. And if that means that he's going to be able to put groceries on your table every single week and not give you a Birkin bag, that is what you need to seek out. You need to seek out a man that can be there for you emotionally and basic financially. Not a man who is going to be ghosting you back and forth, who's only going to want to take you on a trip because you look nice. That is going to mess you up more. It's going to make you search for even more validation. You need to build up the stamina of being a woman who's well taken care of. And you know what? If you find the right man, that man will also pour into you and he will want to achieve more so he can pour back into you. So he can want to keep buying you stuff. So eventually you'll get the Birkin bag anyways. But if you're desperate and you want the Birkin bag right away because that's what you think means being a soft life woman, then you're delusional. Because that's not what it means. Being a soft life woman means a woman who can wake up at 10 a.m. She can go make herself a nice breakfast. She can enjoy her day even if she doesn't have a Birkin bag, even if she doesn't have a Range Rover. And she can talk to a man who makes her feel seen, who makes her feel heard, and who's able to help her work on the things that she needs to work on. That's a masculine man. And I think a lot of people on the internet have this confused where they think that, well, we need to be materialistic. If he's not giving you all of this, then he's not showing you enough love, and then he's not willing to provide enough for you. That's wrong. A generous man is very different from a rich man who just wants to trick on a woman, who just wants a woman he can pamper to show off to the world, not because he really likes her, but because he wants to show that he got money. There's a big difference between a man who's taking care of a woman because he wants to, it's his drive, and a man who wants to give women stuff because it's in his ego. It makes him look better. And of course, a man's always going to look better if he's taking well care of his woman. But if that woman looks stressed, even with a Birkin bag, if a woman looks really stressed and if a woman is all tired all day, it doesn't matter if she has all of the nice stuff. What matters is that she's calm, she's taken care of, and she's relaxed. Anyways, you guys, that was today's videos, and those were the 5 reasons why you're not getting princess treatment as a neurodivergent girly. I know that the treatment you deserve is out there. The soft life, the waking up at 10 a.m. and enjoying your day and looking good and loving yourself, it's out there. But you just need to take the steps that are good for you in order for you to get there. Anyways, I hope you guys liked today's video, and make sure you leave a comment down below with other types of videos that you would like to see, and I'll get back to you. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.